So there she is. I've finally managed to take everything out from underneath. It's almost completely gutted. The only thing I need to take out is the diff. And this is what it looks like after, was it 14 years? Can't even remember what the number plate is. 14 years. I don't think it looks that bad underneath. I mean, the worst areas are under the wheel arches. You can actually see that there's some surface rust, but that's starting to ease now. So I'm a bit concerned about this side here, because on the other side, actually, this got eaten away while I was sanding, brushing it off, and these bits here, and he actually goes past the underbody seal, the original one. But these structural bits are actually fine. These can be sanded down and repainted and they'll be absolutely fine. Here, these edges, they're the ones that suffer the most here, where the bumper clips in, and this is where normally the rust really eats in. So if I have to brush it really carefully, not actually completely damage the hole, because otherwise I won't be able to clip the bumper in. But then here, again, it's just superficial rust. These, once they're sanded down and repainted with the underbody seal, and that's fine. And this is where the wheel arches are. Believe it or not, I actually paid for that job 400 quid to get it done, and literally a couple of months later came back because he hasn't done a proper job. The rust actually goes behind. So it goes to show, if you want a job done properly, you got to do it yourself. But considering the age of the car, it's not really that bad. It's again superficial rust. Here on this side, it's actually worse. I'm not entirely sure why. But you can see there, that's what I probably was wire brushing it down with a wire brush, and that's where the wheel arch liner actually clips in, and it's poked a hole through it. And I think the next project is actually taking down this side skirts, because the seals, I poked through that hole and I can see there's some rust that's fell through. So I think that needs addressing, definitely, better now than never. Again, here behind where the brake, this brake, what you call it, the holder here, behind it there's a hole that I just poked through. Again, this was literally behind the original seal, so you would think it would be protected, but actually it's not. Same here where the struts go, and again, this is where it's been eaten. So this is actually not bad. It's not an actual essential component, this part of the body, because it really don't attach anything. There's nothing that clips in. It's just the wheel arch. Oh, actually there's a hole for the wheel arch, but actually I can re-drill it or relocate it somewhere else. It's not a biggie, so I'm not really concerned about that. But the diff seen better days. I need definitely to take that out, because it's probably eating away like that. That's not muck, that's actually rice peeling off. So I need to definitely get that off. I was, check out the size of them bolts. I was thinking just to leave it there and brush off, but I think just the way it looks, definitely no. But yeah, one of the seals, the rear main seals here, one of them failed, so I had to replace that. That was a painful job. You just have the proper socket to push that in. But these rubber mounts here, they're stiff, proper stiff. They won't move at all. I was thinking to replace them with Powerflex bushes, but this is just won't move. So don't know if it's really worth it. It's about 100 quid for the two, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a massive improvement. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and that's where the this is what happens. I got the other one outside, but again, these bushes seem better. They look really worn out. They are, but they're really stiff still. They definitely need to be changed at some point, and I need to buy a proper press to push them out because they're proper stiff. They won't come out at all. And there's one bolt on both sides of these multi-link suspension, which is this one here. Ooh, careful. Everything's falling now. There's, where is it? Ah, yeah, there it goes. It's this bolt here. This one looks a bit funky as well because I've actually had to cut it out and drill through. But this, over time, on both sides as well, the other one I haven't cut it out yet because I'm trying everything not to. Once you take that nut off, this bolt and screws as well. But behind that nut, basically the rust seizes completely, so it welds to the to the aluminium cast body here, and you can hit it, you can heat it up. I did try to heat it up, and look what happened. I've actually burned out a little bit, so I need to actually replace this now because it hasn't got any grist whatsoever. So I need to buy another used one because they're actually quite expensive, brand new. But yeah, this needs to basically live in WD-40 because it's just an absolute nightmare. And these suspension Bilstein dampers, they're crap. 70,000 mile, they're shot, all four of them. I've put a new coilovers around, but the actual dampers are absolutely crap. So I need to buy some a set of Connies to replace them as my first project afterwards. This is where this is the bit behind the bumper, the crash bar, and this was proper rusty as well. I mean, I did sand the heck out of it, and here as well behind, this was proper rusty. Yeah, you can see this is just the remains of it, but it was an absolute nightmare. And here as well, it looks rusty still, but once I apply the undercoat on it, it actually turns the color, so it's not that bad. But it really was having a proper chew here, proper chew. So I've actually, this is already painted. I already painted with the undersill, the see-through one, for the light ones, not the dark stuff, and it's already turned the rust into like a metallic color. And here is actually also where the bumper rubs. This was proper rusty, just rubs on these bumps here, and then there's this, which is obviously the previous guys or people that owned, 5 people that owned this car, had a leaking boot. And how do I know that? Because there's loads of marks here that says leak, and there's loads of little crosses everywhere, and you can see that this wasn't even actually coming through. I've actually wired brushed all of this surface here, and where it was peeling was actually the rust was under the paint. So actually by brushing around, you can tell where there's rust that hasn't come through yet. Same here, and this is where the one of the speed sensors comes through, and you can see it's already chewed it. The rust's already chewed here, so I need to sort something out. Either I'm going to put some body filler, or I don't really know, just leave it like this and seal it off. I just don't want water to come through. I'll have to find an alternative, or put up just a bigger grommet or something on it. I don't know yet. But yeah, this is just the back, and then the front, it's not as bad because most of the front is just plastic, and plastic, and then the main frame, which you can take off, so that's actually not that bad. But here the rear is just proper carnage. You can see here, this guy, he has actually put some filler in, but he didn't really take the wheel arch off, because I've noticed it's never been taken off. So let's put this filler in, but the rest is still coming through. So I don't really know what to do now, because what is the freaking point? But hey ho. But yeah, have fun.